Good evening, race fans. Welcome to Indianapolis. No, not that one. Not the 2.5 mile here tonight. We are at the Lucas Oil Raceway, Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park, IRP, at the short little half-mile track here. Not to be confused with the Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park. That is the drag strip. Not to be confused with Lucas Oil, the dirt track race. It's this. I think they really need to just rename this track back to IRP. It was just so much easier knowing it by that name. But this is again the little half-mile track, and it's very interesting because this thing is. It's got slight. Elevation change, or not elevation changes, but banking changes, where the top line is typically the line that you want to be in. You don't really see that too much on short tracks, but the far outside is typically the line that you want to be at, which makes for some interesting racing because it is a fast line out there, but you can kind of dive in there and pull some asphalt sliders for sure to make the passes here tonight. Carl Lamrick in the booth alone here tonight as Jimmy helps out covering for Dylan over for his computer issues. We'll just leave it at that, and kids being kids. But Jimmy is going to help out over there for Dylan, so I'll be in the booth here solo, bringing you CRN's live coverage of the CORE Xfinity Series here as we are at race number 5, and it's been a pretty interesting season so far. We'll take a look at the points coming into tonight. It sees Alan Elwood back on top of the boards, 5 points ahead of Daniel Wiles, 8 over Nico Garcia, and then over in the silver division, AJ Connors leads by 13, David Tilford 31 back, and then the bronze Dan Phelps 7 ahead of Joe Thomas and 8 ahead of John Crane. This need to care some things here, but we are ready for racing here tonight. It's going to be a nice race here, hopefully nice and cordial from these guys. It is again, it's a short track, but hopefully they can play nice out here tonight, because they can certainly end up being a caution fest out here if they're not careful. But good sized field, going to be taking the green here tonight, as it looks like we got 18 cars in the field here tonight, and it is Alan Elwood on the pole. We'll take a look at the results from qualifying. And Alan Elwood on top of the boards once again. Nico Garcia in second, Kelly Pointer, Mike Moultrie, Dave Tilford round out your top 5, and you got Daniel Wiles, Josh Van Westen, AJ Connors, Caleb Collins, Kevin Foster back in action again here in 10th place. And then you got Tyler Bramble, Dan Phelps, Joe Thomas, John Crane, Tony Bramble, Shane Therian, Bryce Rayner, and Jeremy Gainey. Going to round out your 18-car field. We are going to go and head down to the track here as we are ready to go. The pace car lights are out, and it's going to be go time here at IRP. And again, long race out here tonight, 115 laps, but the laps will tick by very, very quickly. Some good fast laps here, and we'll see how the boys can handle it. But we'll send it on down to Barney here as he is going to get this thing underway, and we are racing at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Good start from the field, and we'll get up the track map here, as a lot of things not deciding to work for me here tonight. But there we go, the track map up there for you guys, and a battle for the lead. Alan Elwood gets to the outside as Nico Garcia looks to the inside to try and make a pass here, but it is going to be Elwood leading lap number 1, still side by side for third place. Moultrie on the outside trying to hold off the 75 with Kelly Pointer on the inside. And so far, so good. But it looks like we're going to have a little incident here. Joe Thomas off the track here on the backstretch, and we'll take a look at how that transpired here real quick. And it looks like he just loses it, gets sideways going into the corner. Great evasive action there by the 90 of Reiner as he goes to the inside and avoids the potential incident there. But Joe Thomas now going to have some work to do back there in the back of the pack, but he is still on the lead lap and got it cleaned up here. But it is Alan Elwood out here in the lead. Moultrie and Kelly Pointer is still going at it here for third place, as Moultrie now back to the inside. He is going to complete the pass and take over third place. Pointer in fourth. Right behind them, Daniel Wiles is in fifth place. Little battle back here as Caleb Collins trying to come up through the field. He's up 2 spots already, up to 7th place. As we start on lap number 5, you see Van Westen all the way to the bottom, and it's one of those things that if you're thinking it's going to be a little bit of cautions, then you're going to want to try and use these tires up. But it's a flat track. It can eat those tires up very quickly. But when they're nice and fresh like this, and it's nice and early in the race, that's your time to get down there on the bottom, work that low line, try and make some passes if you feel like you didn't qualify where you should have. As it looks like Caleb Collins is the biggest mover. So actually, Shane Therian, no surprise there, is the biggest mover. One of the 3 guys that did not put a lap time in, whether that was by choice or whether that was just a little bit of wall scraping here and there. But he's showing as the number 9 out there tonight, but he is the number 3 on the time and scoreboards there for everybody out there. For those that are tuning in, thank you for tuning in here to CRN and the CORE Xfinity Series. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. As pretty good start here for the boys in at IRP here, and really just one little mistake there early on by Joe Thomas. But other than that, field already starting to spread out, and man, you want to talk about spreading out. How about these 2 teammates out front, Alan Elwood, Nico Garcia? They have gapped 3rd place by 2.3 seconds already. Kevin Foster now down to the inside of AJ Connors, trying to make the pass and move himself into 10th place, and looks like he is going to do so. And guys giving each other plenty of room right now. Again, it's still plenty early. It's only on lap number 10 here, so I don't think there's going to be any kind of aggressive sliders, but this is certainly a place that it can happen. You see Shane Therian down to the inside there of Van Westen, trying to make a pass and get himself up into 8th place, still side by side down the backstretch. And Therian going to send it in, but Van Westen just pinching him down there a little bit. Therian all the way down onto the apron, trying to get that car rotated and get around there. This is certainly a place that you could see 2 tires come into play when it comes to these pit stops. Is getting this car to rotate later in the run is going to be tough, especially when that front right is worn down and it just is not happy with how you've been driving it. It's hard to kind of keep that front right in control and not as hot and angry. But Shane Therian, I think, just throwing caution to the wind here. He's trying to drive that thing all the way up through the field. Already up 9 positions now as he makes a pass on Caleb Collins for 7th. The rest of the field now settling in here, and it is a small lead for Alan Elwood at the front. He's got his teammate Nico Garcia right behind him, but again, 2.7 seconds. I mean, you can barely see them on your screen right there. You see 3rd place Mike Moultrie coming into the picture right there. So not sure if they just got the out-and-out speed here tonight and have really nailed down the track and how it needs to be driven, or if they're driving a little bit too hard here early on. And we'll see maybe if Moultrie and Pointer and the rest of the crew can reel them in later in the run. But looks like we may have another battle towards the back here, as for 3 cars out there blanket. That is John Crane, Tyler Bramble, and Jeremy Gainey in 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th. As looks like Tyler going to get the better of the 11 right there, move himself up a position. Van Westen now to the inside of Collins. Just not getting enough grip there on the bottom, but looks like we're going to pass up front as well. Daniel Wiles making the pass on Kelly Pointer. So now we got 2 teammates in 1st and 2nd, 2 teammates in the 2nd and 3rd here. And I think Kelly Pointer would like to see if Dan Phelps can get up there and join him, so he can have a partner up there as well, try and move up. But Shane Therian trying to join his other 2 teammates who are running 1st and 2nd right now, as he is on the inside of David Tilford. And man, these guys from EDE certainly seem to have a grip at IRP here tonight. Gap now in the lead is a half a second, and then 3 seconds back to third place, Daniel Wiles. As Wiles is going to make it past Moultrie right now, and now it looks like Pointer trying to get back in the mix here, as he briefly was inside of Moultrie, but had to back out, and it allows Therian to close in. David Tilford right there as well. Side by side, back further in the pack as Joe Thomas has caught up to John Crane and now makes the pass on the inside. Now side by side for 10th place here as Reiner to the inside here, going to make the pass on Collins, who gets a little bit loose there and almost into AJ Connors coming off of the corner. So Collins maybe using up his tires a little bit early, or maybe just kind of falling back on pace here a little bit as he's dropped a few positions from where he was running. But two biggest movers, Shane Therian up 10 spots. He is in 6th place right now. Bryce Reiner, you're taking a look at him right here. He is up 7 spots. Two of the guys that did not put down qualifying lap times, and now you're showing where their muscle is to be played here tonight. But out front, it is Alan Elwood stretching his legs here a little bit and getting close to lap traffic already, completing lap number 22. Actually, completed lap number 21 on lap number 22 right now, and already closing in on the back of the field, and that being Tony Bramble. One thing that I always thought was pretty cool about this place is I almost kind of attribute it to like a AAA AAA stadium for NASCAR, as for quite some time you had the trucks or the Xfinity Series running here on Friday night or Saturday night, the same weekend as the Brickyard race, and it was pretty cool, seeing what you would consider the AAA and NASCAR running at the AAA facility just right down the road from the big Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and then you get to see the main event there at the Brickyard the following day. So I always thought that kind of played out nice when it worked out like that. But it seems like there's some guys that certainly have a liking to this track, and that is of course once again Alan Elwood here at the front, as he has got about a second lead now on Nico Garcia here in second. Third place Daniel Wiles is keeping them in tow, keeping them in check, and he's got the lap car of Tony Bramble in between him right now. But this is kind of the big gaggle of the pack right here. You got Daniel Wiles here on the screen. You got Mike Moultrie now coming into 4th place. Kelly Pointer right there on the inside of Tony Bramble, the lap car, as they make their way on the front stretch. Right behind them, Shane Therian now going to the inside, and he's going to rejoin them, as is David Tilford. But good run so far from the boys here at CORE Xfinity Series. Make sure you tune in tomorrow night, as we'll be picking up yet another series, and it's going to be following myself and Joe's coverage of CSRL. There's going to be another series that's going to be right behind us. We'll have back-to-back for myself and Joe tomorrow night. We won't give too much away yet. We got plenty of a night here yet to go, so we'll get into more details later. But so far, so good here, and field now pretty spread out, and really the biggest gap right now is from 12th back to 13th. Caleb Collins in 12th. Tyler Bramble is about 7 seconds behind him in 13th, and he is very soon going to be in the midst of Alan Elwood, as this field really starting to spread out here. And again, the cream of the crop, no surprise, is Alan Elwood out front. 3 wins out of the first 4 races. I'm sorry, 2 wins out of the first 4 races this season, and sees him at the top of the boards. But Daniel Wiles, he's kind of the quiet assassin out here. His teammate Mike Moultrie may be known for for a little bit more speed and more chances to win, but Daniel Wiles is always right there. It seems like if he's not in there with a chance to win, he's kind of racking up those top fives and you know, finishing out strong and making it through the messes a little bit better, and that's why you see him in second place, even though he has no wins on the season. Alan Elwood with 2 of them, Nico Garcia with 1, and then Garrett Pick with a win as well. But it looks like Alan Elwood is on his way to trying to grab win number 3 out of 5 here already in the season. Ready, we are on lap number 32, so already over a quarter of the way through this race, and it is Elwood, Garcia, Wiles, Moultrie, and Pointer, your top 5. Therian, Tilford, Reiner, Foster, and Van Westen are going to round out your top 10. They got AJ Connors, Caleb Collins, Tyler Bramble, the last remaining cars on the lead lap at the top 13. Then Jeremy Gainey, Dan Phelps, Joe Thomas, Tony Bramble, and John Crane all 1 lap down at the moment. The lead stretching out as it is now 1.7-second gap between Elwood and Garcia, but that also means that the gap is getting a little bit smaller between Garcia and Moultrie, as Moultrie just clicking away some decent laps here. He's now got the distance down to about 2 seconds as he made the pass back over his teammate Daniel Wiles. And I think these lap cars are going to play a big part in the race here tonight, and how clean and how quick they can get around these lap cars. As Moultrie doing a fine job right there. Wiles right there in 4th place. Pointer hanging in there and is not letting these guys go. Again, Pointer started up there in 3rd place. Lost a couple spots here after he was battling early on with Moultrie for quite a while, as the field now catches up to Gainey. Moultrie going to go to the inside, as will Wiles, Pointer, and right behind them Therian, as Wiles gets a little slow through the corner. Pointer had to check up just a little bit. And as I said, these lap cars, it's not just about, you know, passing them cleanly, it's where you catch them. It could be a situation where you're taking your line through the corner exactly the way you want to take it, and then all of a sudden you come up off the corner and the lap car's right there, and you really have to check up, and it really kind of kills your exit, kills your momentum. And now you see right here, Pointer going to the inside of Wiles. This is the battle for 4th place. Wiles goes a bit wide there. I don't know if he got the wall there or not, but certainly slowed him up here a little bit. He's going to lose 2 spots now as both Pointer and Therian get on by. Our first taker into pit lane, John Crane into the pits here, and now looks like he is coming back out on track. Real tight on the exit there, and you really have to keep it all the way down there on that apron until you get to the backstretch of that blue cone. So it can be a little difficult on exit. The entry not too terrible, as it is you know, your typical kind of short track entry here. And we'll hop on board here with Kelly Pointer as he comes on by the entrance. You see right down there to the inside. You have to brake early and get down to the inside. There's no wall right off the start of the pit lane entrance, but you definitely don't want to get under that grass. It's going to shoot it right back out on the track. One of the biggest things about IRP and here right along board with Pointer is patience. I mean, every track demands patience, but here at IRP, the corners are they're so long, and you want to get in the throttle 10 times before you're actually really allowed to, before you can get a good run off of that corner. closest battle on the track right now is between Therian and Wiles, and we'll show you how Therian made the pass on Wiles. And that is when you see Wiles getting into the outside wall just a little bit through 1 and 2, and then a little bit again on the backstretch, made the pass a lot cleaner and easier. But he has not let Therian go, and he is right there on his back bumper and getting close to the quarter panel, going through the corner. Therian going to hold the position, but Wiles still right there, as is the battle for the last spot in the top 5. Cars do the talking here as Therian goes a bit wide there, brushes the wall, but just kind of lets him send it off of that wall a little bit harder, and gains a big advantage down the backstretch. It's one of those things where it's going to help you out in the short run, but you can't do that too often, or the car will end up getting damaged. At best, it's just going to be a little bit of fiberglass, but at worst, it's going to be some tire damage. But right back to the back bumper is Wiles. See that variable banking as Moultrie dives down into pit lane from 3rd. So the first one from our top 5 that's going to dive in there here on lap number 50. Real interesting to see if any of these drivers can stretch this thing out and make this a one-stop race. But I mean, as hard as these guys have been battling the entire first half of this run, I don't know if you're going to see that at all. You see how much time you're going to lose in pit lane, even under the best conditions here, even from the top 5. There's a good chance you're going to lose 2 laps here, as Moultrie just coming out of pit lane right now, and you see how tight you need to keep it on that inside there. You don't want to touch the grass, but you cannot get above that yellow line until you get to that blue cone. Now he dives out and gets back into the racing line as he is through 3 and 4. The leader coming off onto the backstretch right now. So about a lap and a half is the amount of time you're really losing on pit road. Back up to our battle, which is now for 4th place. See John Crane right behind him. He's got those fresh tires. One of the guys that came into the pits early. Actually, not even fresh tires, just cooler tires from coming in, as a shorter pit stop. Maybe he took 2 tires. The thing is, it seems like it's a bit of a rocket ship right now, as looks like Joe Thomas coming into the pits right now. And let's take a look at Joe here. Yeah, it looked like he wanted to come into the pits, but he definitely missed pit lane there. So hopefully he's not running out. He can make it around here one more time. Wiles trying to go to the outside now, gets a good run through 1 and 2, and he will make the pass going into turn at number 3 and move himself back into 4th position. And it's a tough situation there for Crane. I mean, he doesn't want to be involved in these guys' battle here, but he's got fresher tires, and he's got to make them work when they're fresher, and he's got to make the best out of it while he can. And as much as he doesn't want to get involved in these guys' battle, he's also kind of getting held up in his own battle as he goes to the inside now of the 85 of Dan Phelps. But Moultrie, again, back out there. He is 1 lap down, and this is a spot where you come in early. The short pit is certainly going to help you out and get you a lot of speed faster than these other guys. You can gain a lot of time back, and you can see there's passing available here tonight, so it's not like it's just as easy as, you know, rolling by somebody and you can block them then at that point. But you see Moultrie's got a ton of speed right now and a ton of grip, and just drives right on by Therian. He wants to get to the front, or at least as close as possible, as you get Tilford, Reiner, and Gainey in pit road right now. Still waiting for the guys at the front, and by the looks of it, they are going to make this thing on one pit stop, and quite possibly Moultrie could be making it on one pit stop as well. Pitting on lap number 49, he may just be taking at the early end of that pit cycle, and he could very well be good at the end. Did not get a chance to take a look at the fuel mileage here tonight, but it's been a good run so far. Now Wiles, his teammate, into the pits, as is Caleb Collins. Still waiting for our top three to come into the pits. Alan Elwood, 5.6 second lead over his teammate. He's entering turn number 3 when his teammate's exiting turn number 2. Quite a big gap here. But Nico Garcia was getting very close to being under pressure from Kelly Pointer. He's going to dive into the pits here. Shane Therian into the pits as well. So Kelly Pointer now going to take over second position, but going to be very interesting to see where these earlier pit stop guys come out. As you see Moultrie right here, it'll be very interesting to see how close he is to the front of this pack, and if he's able to clear all the other drivers that came into the pits. Currently running in 7th place, but already going to be coming by right now, and he is going to pass even Nico Garcia right here, who is still in pit lane. Looks like he's going to be coming out right now, but I mean, that short pit certainly working out for Moultrie now. Question is, does he have enough in the tank to make it all the way to the end, and is he going to have enough tires to hold these guys off once they catch back up to him? Alan Elwood now into pit lane. It's going to give over the lead to Kelly Pointer, albeit I'm sure brief, as Pointer still has to come into the pits. Tyler Bramble, the only other one out there, along with Tony Bramble, to come into the pits, as Joe Thomas finally did make it in pit lane, and now here comes Kelly Pointer in, hitting his pit road speed at those yellow cones. Mike Moultrie is gonna cycle out and be your leader here after it is all said and done. This is a very interesting strategy here. Alan Elwood back out there. Tyler Bramble right now is in 2nd place, but again, he needs to make his pit stop as well. Still staying out there, and one of the, I guess the Brambles may have had a little extra fuel in the tank for both the cars, as both Tyler and Tony still yet to come into the pits. But you see Alan Elwood there going by. That is for position for the meantime, but once Tyler comes in, it's going to be quite a few, at least 1 lap down, possibly 2 laps down here, as he is going to come in and make his pit stop. So as it all shakes out at the front, Moultrie is now your leader by 6 seconds. So I mean, that is a huge turn of events. I mean, Elwood was about 6, maybe 7 seconds ahead of Moultrie when Moultrie came into the pits, and now it is flipped, and it is Moultrie that is 6 seconds ahead of Elwood, and that's a good distance to make up. Elwood doing just that, though. He is picking up at least 1/10 of a second a lap here, and you know, by all accounts, he should be able to run down Moultrie. But the question is, what kind of tires are both the guys going to have once they get back together? As we are down to 50 laps to go here once Moultrie crosses that line. After pit stops, it is Moultrie, Elwood, Garcia, Tilford moving up into 4th place. And you got Therian back to 5th, Wiles back to 6th. Pointer way back into 7th place. Not a good pit stop for the 75. Reiner in 8th, Foster in 9th, Van Weston up into 10th place. And take a look at the battle now for 4th place. Therian to the inside of Tilford. And he's got about 4 lap fresher tires, and they're going to pay off here as he's going to get along past the 12. Wiles now right to the back end of the 12. He's trying to keep pace with Therian. lead for Moultrie already down to 3 seconds. So Elwood taking big chunks out of the lead for Moultrie. And now side by side, almost contact. There might have been contact there, although it being maybe possibly net code. But either way, 48 going to get to the inside and make the pass here on the 12. Will complete it in turns 1 and 2 now. Pointer on the scene, trying to follow suit, trying to get his way up there as well. Pointer pitted quite a few laps later, and that is why he's down there that far. It still wasn't that great of a pit stop compared to everybody else, but I mean, there's so much time, surprise, surprise, that can be gained or lost on pit lane. But here tonight, there's a ton of time that can be gained or lost depending on when you come into the pits. Very close there off the corner. Corner had to back out of that one. But only 8 drivers remain on the lead lap. And that lead is getting smaller by the second. You see Mike Moultrie in the lead right there at the top of your screen. Alan Elwood reeling him in. 1.5 seconds is the gap. And this might be a play for Moultrie. I mean, maybe he's in fuel save mode right now. Maybe he's in tire save mode, so we don't know what's going to happen once Elwood does catch the back of the 84 here. But maybe this is just in point savings mode, and maybe he's trying to maybe not necessarily race the 5 here. Maybe he's trying to race the 51 and the 3 and trying to secure a second spot here tonight. And kind of best of the rest, as looks like Elwood certainly has another rocket ship in the number 5 Valvoline out here tonight, running him down now under 1 second, as it should be just a couple laps before these drivers will be battling. Not sure what kind of weapons that 84 has that he can battle with. Anytime we take a look back here as Wiles trying to battle Shane Therian here, as these drivers are going for 4th and 5th. Pointer right there behind them in 6th. They've dropped off David Tilford towards the back here a little bit, as Tilford has some of the older tires here, pitting on lap number 55 compared to everybody else pitting in the late 50s to early 60s. And here is the battle for the lead, and well, not really much of a battle at all, as Moultrie going to let the 5 of Elwood get on by. And a pretty amazing distance that Moultrie made up on the short pit there, but now he's going to pay the price, and he is going to be behind some newer tires there of the 5, who's going to dive to the inside there and go to put Tony Bramble another lap down. And there, Tony Bramble trying to get out of the way, almost clips and takes out the 84. And the 8 of Kevin Foster right back there. He's in a lucky dog spot, so he is racing hard to try and stay there in case a caution came out. He almost seen the caution happen in front of him, and then he was almost part of a caution as well. So great job by all the drivers collecting it right there. But Elwood back out into the lead and starting to check out already. Nico Garcia back here in 3rd place, kind of by himself, about 3 seconds behind Mike Moultrie. 4 seconds behind him is Shane Therian, and the rest of the guys battling for that final couple spots in the top 5, which is very close. I mean, you see him right here, all under a blanket, trying to work on the inside there of, looks like Caleb Collins is Kelly Pointer, and all 3 of them right there. And Pointer almost goes for a 2-for-1 there to get to the inside of Wiles, but going to fall back in line. And again, Pointer has the freshest tires in the top 10 right now. He pit on lap number 62. Wiles on lap number 58. Therian on lap number 59. So he's trying to make those newer tires kind of really help him out and get this thing done. But there is your answer. Mike Moultrie is not going to be able to make it to the end. Strange call here for the 84. I thought coming in early, maybe he was at the early end of his pit run, but he is not going to make it to the end of this race. That is a big turn of events for the 84 here. He is going to bring it in, and this is not going to be the finish that I'm sure he envisioned when he took that lead halfway through this race. He's going to fall way down in the order, going to go down a lap and possibly more, as he is coming in there, taking the tires and coming back out. So he's left with no tires in the pits and a long way to go here. He's going to have some nice tires to run through this thing, but Again, he is 1 lap down, and you call another half if you wanted to, think about the win here at all tonight. He's gonna be in a rocket ship right now compared to everybody else, but man, that's a rough one there, and that's got me questioning some of these other guys that pit on lap 55 if they got enough to make it to the end. Obviously, Moultrie coming in plenty early there, and maybe it was not the right call, and I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something out here, but all these guys that stretch it out to 58, 59 should stand the reason that they can make it all the way to the end of this thing. As right in front of them, Daniel Wiles and Kelly Pointer doing battle. Pointer is finally going to get on by. He's going to move himself into 4th place. Right in front of them is Shane Therian trying to get around the lap car of Bramble, and he's going to do so on the inside. Out front, Alan Elwood, 3.3 seconds in the lead over Nico Garcia. Shane Therian now in 3rd as EDE tries to make it a 1-2-3 sweep here at IRP. But I think Kelly Pointer is going to try and utilize those fresher tires here. Again, 3 laps newer. Can he get this thing done? Moultrie trying to drive back through the field. We'll see where he can finish. He is in 10th place, so I guess, not too bad damage-wise with the speed, but he's going to have to drive with all of his might to get up through here, especially to at least get up there and challenge Kevin Foster, who is currently in the lucky dog spot, just in case there is a late caution here. He can at least get back on the lead lap. But this is a terrible turn of events here for the American Race number 84. Speaking of Kevin Foster, doing battle right now with Josh Van Westen, who would love to take that lucky dog spot away from him. They're side by side coming down on the backstretch. This is also the battle for 8th place. Van Westen going to send it in there. Not going to slide job him just yet. Still plenty of time left in this race. But the time is ticking down. It's just under 30 laps right now. 121 again back to the inside. But the 8 Foster holding strong on that outside, and he knows how important that spot is, at least at the time right now. Leader is catching the back of the field again, and not too far ahead is Bryce Reiner, who is the last car on the lead lap. So for the time being, this spot is very, very important for both of these drivers. As the 11 had some issues here. Not sure exactly what happened. We'll try and take a look at it again. Looks like he was trying to come onto pit road, and see right there, that thing just did not want to turn and get in there, but he does end up getting onto pit road. No caution. Everything is clear. And how about Moultrie? You think he's got some fresh tires out there? Splits these guys battling for the lucky dog spot right through the middle, and he's a man on a mission as he gets to that lucky dog spot right there. He has got his eyes set on getting back his 1 lap the hard way at this point, as he is hauling right now, gets the inside of Kelly Pointer. And speaking of Kelly Pointer, he is starting to reel in 3rd place here. Shane Therian, very close battle. He's got Van Westen in between him right now. Would love to get on by him and start doing battle, as his teammate there, Dan Phelps, on the outside is going to leave plenty of room and let him get on by. Van Westen, as you can see, did clear Kevin Foster there for position. But Pointer wants to get this pass done quickly, and he will do so. Now he's got Therian right in his sights, and he's got to reel him in quick before they catch more lap traffic. This is your best battle on track right now. The battle for 3rd place. You got Elwood, Garcia, your top 2, Therian and Pointer right here on screen, 3rd and 4th. Wiles making up your top 5. Then you got Tilford, Reiner, Moultrie, Ben Westen, and Foster, your top 10, with Collins, Connors, Tyler Bramble, Gainey, Phelps, Thomas, Tony Bramble, and then John Crane rounding out your 18-car field here tonight. But it has been lean and green here at IRP. These boys doing a great job here at the short track. Half mile, and this thing scares a lot of people at times, especially the fact that it's a high line dominant kind of track. But these guys using all types of grooves here tonight. They're being able to put this car all over this track, and it seems like pretty much wherever they can go. And I mean, I guess they may need to thank me a little bit for not cranking up the heat here and giving these guys some grip here under the lights here at IRP. But you know, for first short track of the season here, it's a good showing. Hopefully it's a good sign for the rest of the season, as there's still a couple more short tracks looming on the schedule. My nemesis, and I hate to even say the word Martinsville, but Martinsville will be on the schedule later on in the playoffs, as will be Bristol. Actually, Martinsville the last race before the playoffs, and then Bristol in the playoff round. So still got a couple short tracks on the schedule, but this one here shaping up to be a good one. 20 laps to go now, and Pointer wants a top 3. Clearly, he's trying to break up this EDE dominance at the front of the field right now. Elwood, Garcia, Therian, but Pointer wants to get his name in the mix. He wants to come up and talk to me after this race, and you know, why wouldn't you? But he's got a battle on his hands, as the 3 of Therian making that car about 6 lanes wide, and really it's been about 6 lanes out here tonight, so he needs to. Up on board here a little bit with Kelly Pointer as he tries to work on the 9 on the screen here, the 3 on the timing tower of Shane Therian. Slide out of the corner there from Therian as Pointer tries to set him up, and here comes John Crane again, not wanting to get in the mix here, but he's got fresh tires, so just trying to be cordial around these guys. As Therian doing everything he can to keep that 75 behind him, but it seems like they both have their likes and dislikes of where they want to put that car through the corner, and Pointer seems to be just losing a little bit on that exit where he needs to be able to gain that traction and come off that corner and have a chance to maybe dive down the inside here or to the outside, whichever is his preferred choice is. It's going to be interesting here. I don't think it's a matter of if, I think it's a matter of when does that 75 start getting a little bit more aggressive here to try and get this pass down and get in the top 5 or top 3. The battle in the back that is threatened to brew up here is Tyler Bramble now heading to the inside of AJ Connors. This is the battle for 12th place, and Moultrie kind of stuck right in the middle of him. He is in 8th place right now, back on the lead lap. You see the leader right behind him. He was able to get his lap back the hard way, but it looks like he is certainly stuck in some traffic right now, almost trying to push AJ Connors around this track. Now he gets the inside. He's going to go 3 wide down the inside here as Bramble gets the pass done. Moultrie goes 2 for 1, and Elwood just going to stick his nose in there as well, as he was losing some time, only down to 2 seconds right now. The lead from Elwood back to Garcia, as Connors maybe gives a little bump there to Bramble heading into the corner. We'll back to our battle for 3rd place, as some more lap traffic just trying to stay out of the way. And right now, Therian still holding off Pointer, as we are coming up on 10 laps to go this time by. Moultrie looking to try and grab one more spot. As he dives to the inside, drives it hard on the inside of Bryce Reiner. Going to take over 7th position here. That may be the best that he can do, as he's got about 5 seconds in between him and Tilford. He's on a blistering pace right now, but I don't think his pace is that quick to be able to pick up that much time in the last 10 laps, as the battle for 2nd or 3rd place is starting to heat up again. Pointer once again closes in on Therian. What can he do to rattle the three's cage and try and make a move with waning laps coming in here? It's only Pointer's second race of the season. Was able to grab the top 5 his first race of the season, but finally back out here for race number 5, and would love to get himself on to the podium. But again, he's going to have to pass a very tough competitor out there in Shane Therian. We'll hold him off for a while, but now possibly a run, possibly a pick move here as Pointer tries to get to the inside. Not going to happen just yet, as we've got 7 laps to go. But lap traffic certainly starting to play a part here, as Therian has to check up a little bit, and now both of them split the gap here onto the backstretch. It's still as close as you'd like. Caleb Collins to pit lane here. He's not going to make it to the end. He's going to come into the pits. But we've got 6 laps to go, and this thing is getting feisty out here. Pointer tried to get to the inside and maybe pull a little pick move there with the lap traffic. The 9 gets into the wall again. Now heading off onto the backstretch. Still got a good enough gap to hold on for now. But he's certainly using up those tires, trying to keep that 75 behind. At what point does he start losing a little bit too much grip? They come up on some more lap traffic. Both the Brambles in front of him right now. First they got Tony, who is into the outside wall, trying to stay out of the way. Good run off the corner from both, as they'll clear Tony Bramble now. Tyler Bramble next in line. Both of them diving into turn number 3 to the inside. Tyler going to keep it on the outside, and both will clear 4 laps to go. Just a smidge to the inside was Pointer there, but just not enough to keep it alongside. Just send it off again into turn number 3. This time by, it's going to be 3 laps to go. Does Pointer have enough? This has been an epic battle now for the last 20, 30 laps away, it seems. Pointer now to the inside again, just barely gets to the inside, but not enough. Going to try and get enough rotation off the corner, but again, Therian just going to pull a little bit of a gap. 2 sticks in the air, 2 laps to go here for Alan Elwood to try and grab win number 3 on the season. But this is the battle that we got our eyes on right now. Moultrie able to actually catch David Tilford and make the pass. So what a great run there for Moultrie to get up there back to 6th place. But here is possibly a run for Pointer. Sends it off into turn number 3, but not going to be enough right now. White flag in the air this time by. Pointer's got a good chance here 2 more times, and that's it. He's going to send it into 1 and 2. He's going to try and get a good run off the corner, but Therian's got a possibly even better run on the bottom. 1 last chance for Pointer. Going to try and get to the back bumper, but just not going to get close enough. Maybe he will on the outside. Sends it hard, but Therian going to hold off for 3rd. Pointer in 4th. What a battle there. Elwood gets the win. Garcia in 2nd. Wiles is going to come home in 5th. Moultrie drives it all the way back to 6th place. And I guess somewhat makes the 2-stop strategy work here tonight. Tilford in 7th. Reiner, Van Westen, Foster going to round out your top 10. Then you got Tyler Bramble, Connors, Collins, Gainey, Phelps, Thomas, Tony Bramble, and John Crane rounding out your field, as once again that 5 out front here and dominant here tonight, but came down to about 2.4 seconds at the end. So really interesting again when they caught the lap traffic and how they caught them and how they passed them. But EDE certainly had this track on lockdown tonight, taking home the top 3 spots and really stamping their foot down in the dominance here, and it's certainly going to help out Shane Therian to try and catch back up here a little bit, as he's had a bit of a rough go for the first couple of races, but grabbing a podium here tonight is 2nd, top 5 out of the first 5 races, and you see them all 3 celebrating there on the front stretch. It was real easy to find them in the Discord here and get them ready and queued up for their interviews here. So let's go ahead and start bringing them in. We'll start with the third place finisher here tonight, and that is going to be the 3 of Shane Therian. But man, it was not easy, Shane. You and Kelly Pointer had a pretty epic run there for the last 20, 30 laps, and that's pretty much where my eyes were trained the entire time. Talk me through the end there. I mean, obviously, you didn't you either elected not to get a qualifying lap in, or you just the walls decided you weren't going to get a qualifying lap in. But you got your way up to third, but it was not easy here tonight.
Too much brake bias allowed me not to qualify. I crashed. So
there you go. That'll do it. That'll do it every time.
That's been my luck so far at the start of this season. I've had a really rough start to the season, so I just said I'm just gonna wing it, fly through the field, and see if I can hold them off. And I got third, and Kelly had pressure tires, but he raced me clean, and I was blocking. I was holding my lines. It paid off. I needed this third place after the start of my season.
Well, certainly we see sometimes at tracks that the short pit works out and gets a big advantage, and we've seen that with Mike Moultrie. I mean, he went from about 7 seconds down to 6 seconds in the lead, but he didn't have enough to fuel in the end to get it done. But I mean, going a little bit longer here for Pointer. I mean, it was only 3 laps, but man, those tires seemed like they were just glued to the track behind it, but he just couldn't get a run on you and couldn't get past you.
Yeah, I learned going through the field how to run the bottom really, really well, and I think that's what saved me. And I lowered my brake bias in the middle of that run too, so I could brake a little harder when I drove in, so I could get the car to rotate, and that also helped. So, I mean, yeah, if one little mistake and Kelly was getting around me, that's for sure.
Well, that was going to lead me in my next question. Typically here at IRP, it's a top dominant type X, but usually that the high line is kind of where you want to be. But man, it seemed like you guys had about 6, 7 different lines out there tonight.
Yeah, well, typically at this track when it's nighttime like this, you can do that. I know daytime it's high line dominant because the inside is just too slippery. But yeah, nighttime there was grip everywhere. The bottom line wasn't necessarily the fastest line. It was more so cars were like all stacked up. You could just roll the bottom, but depending and racing wise, it's the top. But I couldn't figure out the top, so I just stayed down where I was, and it worked.
Yeah, sometimes that's all it is. Just get where you're comfortable. It may not be the ultimate fastest, but if you're comfortable there, it's just going to feel better. Well, again, you mentioned that. I mentioned it even before I brought you in here. It hasn't been exactly at the start of the season that you probably envisioned, but you get here on the podium. Your second top 5 now in 5 races. Do you feel like this may jumpstart your season here a little bit?
I hope so. Man, I've had a rough start in general on iRacing the last few weeks, and all my leagues that started up. It's just in a rough stretch. I mean, it happens. So, I mean, I got third yesterday in a league, and I got third today. So let's see if I can continue this momentum. It's much needed. Well,
you certainly got your 2 teammates to chase there for sure, as both Alan and Nico. Best you here tonight, and they've been doing some pretty good driving here this season. So either way, third place is nothing to scoff at, especially when you have to start in the back here. So congrats on third place. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Shout out to my teammates. We got our first 1, 2, 3 of the season. I want to thank Kelly for racing me clean. That was fun. I was definitely scared when he gave me the bumper a little bit, but then you guys were broadcasting and then the league. It was a fun race. Green flag pit stops and no cautions at IRP is very rare, and it was very shocking.
Yeah, absolutely. Congrats to all you guys out there for doing that. Well, take some time to celebrate this. I'm sure your teammates are going to celebrate this 1, 2, 3 as well. So we're bringing them in, but in the meantime, take some time to celebrate your third tonight.
Thank you.
That is your third place finish here tonight, the 3 of Shane Therian. Second place is going to be Nico Garcia. And Nico, I know Alan's the boss. I get it. I get you don't want to lose your seat and everything like that. But at some point, you just got to bite the bullet and actually take it to him. I mean, he tried there in the beginning as you guys switch back and forth there a little bit in the first couple laps. But then I guess you started thinking about your paycheck and let him drive away a little bit.
Yeah, we were kind of laughing at the start of that race there because I had a really good run off of 2, and but you know what? Let me just throw it in there and see what happens. And I think I scared him a little bit. I don't think he was actually ready for me to do that because we came out of 4 and I was just laughing. He's like, so was he. But I mean, it was all good and fun. I tried to stay on him, man. He's just. I don't know. He's just fast. I couldn't keep up with him. but it was fun racing with him tonight. Obviously the first 20 laps or so with staying on his bumper, and he just kind of breaks away. He gets in a rhythm really quick. Once he's in a rhythm, it's over. So I just try to keep second as much as I can.
So typically here at IRP, it's a short track, and because of how it drives, it tends to lead to some cautions. You guys go green the entire race here tonight. So I mean, first again, congrats to all you guys for keeping it green the entire time. But how does that play into your strategy when you're coming into a track like this and you're trying to figure out what's going to work the best? Do you just kind of roll with the punches? Do you have an idea of, okay, this is a track where I probably want a short pit or I want to go long, depending on how you feel the cautions are going to fly that night?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, we kind of came into the night and we were kind of expecting cautions. I know Shane was really talking about, might be a caution fest tonight, with it being a short track and just kind of how the last few weeks it went. But the fact that it started going green, we get into 30, 40 laps, and I'm like, well, what are we going to do here? Because, pit window's coming up. But no, it was fun. that green flag racing was awesome. You start hitting lap traffic and it really throws in a wrench. So yeah, it was fun. Strat was good. I tried to out pit Alan. I was literally sputtering coming down pit lane, and I just didn't have any fuel left. I wouldn't have made it any longer. So kudos to Alan and Shane and I. Those guys are fast, and Shane was catching me a little bit, and yeah, he had lap traffic. So thankfully, but not just. Good team banter, but yeah, it was fun racing tonight for sure. Absolutely.
Well, for better or worse, you guys leave the short tracks behind for quite some time. Next one on the schedule isn't until Martinsville, the last race of the regular season. Which by the way you guys are going here, it may not mean too much. You may be locked into the playoffs already, but how do you feel about the rest of the schedule looking up here? You got Chicagoland coming up, Michigan. You got the road course at Watkins Glen coming up in race number 10. How do you feel the rest of the regular season is going to play out?
Yeah, I think it's going to get really interesting. A lot of mile and a half, couple, there's got Michigan and Atlanta on there. Kansas coming up too. So there's going to be some really good races. I'm really excited. I'm honestly not really I'm not a big short track guy. I was telling Alan and this week, and I was like, I'm not fast at short tracks. I'm really not, just kind of had a good car and just kind of felt good tonight. But these mile and a half tracks are kind of something that I really love running. So it's going to be interesting. I hope we have some of the faster guys show up too that we were missing tonight. I think it's going to make for an interesting regular season finish for sure. I think there's going to be a lot of different winners this season, and I'm excited for it. I'm ready for it.
Well, listen, if we all got to chip in, if I got to get the CRN fans out there to chip in and get you a one-off paint scheme for one of these races, and we'll tuck you away in the quiet race room here in the Discord, and maybe you can take it to Alan for just one of these races this season, so you don't have to worry about that paycheck.
Yeah, I was laughing. I was joking with him earlier when we were pacing around. I'm like, hey, Alan, I might give you a little bump and run tonight. And, he wasn't too happy about that. But, yeah, a little one-off paint scheme would be good. Maybe I'll run AJ's car and just kind of, give him a little run for his money or something.
Exactly. At least for the road course. If AJ doesn't show up for Watkins Glen, then there you go. You can pretend to be AJ for one. All right. Well,
yeah,
once again,
56 going.
Exactly. Yeah, that's fine. All right. Well, congrats again on the second place here. Either way, a good run out here tonight. So who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Yeah, absolutely. Big shout out to EDE. Big top three from us tonight. We'll take a 1, 2, 3 finish every week if we can. Shane really battled back hard tonight, so big props to him coming up through the field. I think he was the biggest mover tonight. But great job by him. Obviously, good job by Alan. Big shout out to Simrat Market. Those guys, they help. Our cars look good every week because of those guys. So definitely check out simratmarket.com. Get your cars painted today. Start painting your own cars today. Look good. Drive fast. Then AJ over at Roderick Racing Development, love that guy to death. And then you guys up in the booth call. I thought I saw Jimmy and her earlier, but you guys put on a great broadcast every week, so I appreciate you guys.
Yep, absolutely. I was riding solo here tonight, but you guys put on a heck of a show, and I was worried myself about the cautions and how it was going to drag out here tonight. But just great racing the entire way from all you guys. So congrats again on the second. We'll let you go celebrate.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Carl. Have a good night.
You too. That's your second place finisher here tonight, the 51 of Nico Garcia. Last but not least is your winner here tonight and grabbing win number 3 on the season, the 5 of Alan Elwood. Alan, you had a little brief battle with your teammate there, Nico, in the first couple laps, and he was kind of like a gnat just buzzing around your backside there for quite some time until you started letting him go there a little bit, about maybe 20, 30 laps into the run. But clean race tonight, a green flag run here at IRP, not, it doesn't happen that often. Was that a bit of a shock to you? Did it, kind of make you think about it a little bit? And at what point were you thinking, okay, this thing may go green, I need to stretch this thing out and make it a one-stopper?
I think that's if you were talking to a betting man, you'd probably say that's probably like a plus 5,000 to 1 odds that would have went caution free. So needless to say, was not expecting that. And, conversations from other people, I don't think anybody was expecting that, to be truthful with you, but pleasantly, very happily surprised that happened. It makes the race go really quick. That thing flew by. But that truck it is tough, especially to pass, even as a leader trying to get around flat traffic. There's 3 or 4 different places that people can drive on that track in the corners, and you're trying to pick and choose the smart place to pass somebody. And, the corners are flat, they're slow, but you get through them pretty quick. So by the time you start committing to passing somebody, you're pretty much already on exit. And the way that track, it doesn't necessarily funnel, but it feels like it does because of the way you have to exit makes it pretty tough. But overall, it was a pretty straightforward race tonight. We didn't have to worry about fuel. We knew we could make it on one stop. And unless a caution came out there toward the end, I think that's what Moultrie was trying to do. I think he was trying to get it to where a caution did come out. And it just, that everybody was so spread out for the most part, it didn't happen. So, but yeah, I'm really happy it went caution free. And podium 1, 2, 3 for the team. It's been a little while since we've had that. So, in any league. So super stoked about that. Really happy that Shane had the tires and everything to hold him out there at the end and bring it home for a 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you come to a track and typically here at IRP it's top dominant. I know when it gets a little cooler under lights here, you guys can spread out. I was shocked at the amount of different lines that you guys could take through the corners, but that almost works as a disadvantage to you as leader coming up on lap traffic, because if it's a 1-lane track, that they're either going to pick the line or kind of the other line. But here tonight there's about 17 different lines. So how tough was that to try and gauge what the lap cars in front of you were going to do to even if they were trying to avoid you and let you go by?
Oh, it was really tough. Like you said, you did it to a T. It makes it so difficult to, where the fast line is, but the guys can kind of hold it in different places around the corner, and to figure out if you're going to go top or bottom. Some guys were being generous and calling it out, and other guys were kind of fighting it, which they have every right to if they're trying to hold on to the lead lap. And so you got to, as the leader, it's your job to pick and choose the right place. And a place like this tonight, when there was some grip to be found, and a little bit lower fuel level makes it a little bit tighter. So that adds to a challenge. And ultimately, you just got to have that IQ and wherewithal to know where you're supposed to just commit to. And once you get there, you just have to stick it. Otherwise, if you're timid or tentative and don't really commit to the pass, then that's going to just allow the guys behind you to catch up. So you really have to be confident.
So I've seen short pitting work before. I don't think I've ever seen a short pit work as much as it did for Moultrie here tonight. He was about 6-7 seconds behind you, and he comes out about 6-7 seconds ahead of you. It was amazing how much the short pit worked out for him. Obviously, in the long run, it didn't, as he had to come in for a second time to refuel the car. But did that kind of shock you a little bit when you're out there? You come back out through the pit cycle, and all of a sudden you look and you're in second, 6 seconds back instead of in first, 6 seconds ahead.
Yeah, I think I underestimated it a little bit. I expected, I was just going to run it out to the end of the fuel, the laps there, and then pit like I did. And once I came out and I saw that, it said that he was the leader, but I didn't have my relative standings up at the time, so I wasn't sure how far he was ahead. And then I look and he's like a full straightaway plus a corner ahead of me. And I'm like, wow, he actually really did gain quite an advantage on that. So like you said, that did actually, quite surprise me that it worked that well. I think he pitted a little too early because I don't think he had the fuel to make it. So I think it's why he had to pit again. But if he had maybe waited a couple laps longer and had that little bit less tire fall off compared to me, if he'd have pitted a little bit later, there might have been something there. So it caught me quite off guard that he was that far ahead for sure.
Well, like I said to your teammate Nico, you guys leave the short tracks behind for quite some time, all the way until race number 15 now, and a lot of mile and a half and some bigger tracks. And there you got Talladega, Luma, but you also got the road course of Watkins Glen. So how do you feel about the next 10 races before the playoffs start?
I feel good. I mean, I know that our team as a whole, especially when you get to these mile and a halves, and I think some other teams are probably going to say that too. These mile and a halves and these bigger tracks kind of even the playing field with who we have here. That's going to make it quite interesting as we come down the stretch for the regular season. But I'm confident that our team can rattle off some more wins, whether it be me, Nico, Shane, and AJ. If he comes back and races Super Speedway, I guess we'll throw him in there.
Well, you have Watkins Glen coming up. He can show up for the Watkins Glen at least.
We'll give him that too. There you go. Yeah, we'll give him a couple, right? I give him a hard time, but no, I think our team's in a good spot. I'm really happy with where we're at, and finally that Shane got to finish where he deserved to be, up at the front, even with not qualifying. I think we have a really good shot to rattle off some more here as we go along.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I'm wondering if the third place finish here tonight maybe woke up with a sleeping giant of Shane Thierian, and maybe he can hop up there in the points and start giving you guys a battle. Like, again, it's going to be interesting this year. It's not just running off the points and there's your championship. Once that 16th race comes into play and those playoffs start and everybody gets wiped back down to zero, it's going to be really interesting. But either way, you're building up some more confidence here. You got your third win here on the season out of the first 5 races. So congrats again here tonight, and congrats to the whole team out there getting the top 3 and sweeping the podium. So give you a little time to give any shout outs that you may have.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Just first off, again, hats off to the team tonight. 1, 2, 3. Can't ask for more than that as a team owner and a teammate. That's the best result you can ask for. So super stoked about that. Semrat Market, Roderick Racing Development, AJ here tonight, but always glad to have him on the team and the support, even though we do rag on him. That's because we love him. And you guys here in the booth, of course, every week, Carl, Jimmy, appreciate you guys always being here and put on a show for us, and everybody at CORE. It's a great place to race if you're looking for a place to hop in and get your oval fix or road fix or whatever it is. There's plenty of opportunity here to do that, and glad to be a part of it and forward the rest of the season for sure.
Absolutely. Well, appreciate that. Appreciate the shout outs as well. Congrats on the win. Go celebrate with the team, and we'll see you next week at Chicagoland.
Thank you, Carl.
As your winner here tonight, the 5 of Alan Elwood. And I can't speak highly enough about these guys out here tonight. And Jimmy, I see you're popping in here. You really didn't miss anything. Not a single caution, no nothing. Alan Elwood wins. Just a typical race night here in CORE Xfinity. But man, these boys won 115 green here at IRP. A fantastic job out here for the boys.
Yeah, running 115 laps at IRP with the competition that's out there is no feat in their own, and I've been glad to visit and sit up at the booth and watch them continue to march around here for the season. Obviously they've been putting on some great shows. So, but when CRN needs some help, you always reach a lending hand and do what we do always, and we continue to cover these leagues that want that live coverage out here, so all the fans out there can watch and see the great racing by any iRacing driver out there that we cover. So, but no, it's great to hear these drivers out there. It's great to hear that the team took 1, 2, 3, and looking forward to hopefully catching the next one.
Absolutely. Well, the series will stay here in the Midwest again. Chicagoland coming up next. Before we head to one of my favorites, and I don't think Jimmy's going to let anything stand in the way between him covering Michigan here coming up in a couple weeks. But great one here tonight. Nice job by all 18 drivers here in the field and everybody running at the end of the race. Everybody just did a fantastic job out there. So congrats, hats off, everything like that. But it's going to be tough to beat these EDE guys. Certainly Kelly Pointer gave it one heck of a run there at the end, trying to get his spot on the podium. But it was a great run here tonight. Thanks for everybody that tuned in. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. Join the CRN Nation and get ready for some more great action, as we've got tons of great racing action here all throughout the week. But for myself and Jimmy at IRP, we'll see you at the track.
Peace.